రసిక రాజువో మరి నా దాసు బావ నీతో ఎప్పుడింత కిరికిరి ఏం రసిక రాజువో మరి నా దాసు బావ నీతో ఎప్పుడింత కిరికిరి
ఆ కుర్చీని మార్చబెట్టి
Resident Evil has always been more than just a video game series. For millions of fans, it's a cultural memory, a shared nightmare, and a nostalgic trip back into the darkness where survival feels like a fragile candle flame in a storm. When we talk about Resident Evil Requiem, we aren't just talking about Capcom's latest horror project. We're talking about the legacy of fear, the evolution of survival horror, and the emotional tug-of-war between fans who crave action and those who yearn for atmosphere. Since Resident Evil 7 redefined the franchise back in 2017, the idea of being hunted has become a staple. Jack Baker didn't just burst through walls, he shattered the idea that Resident Evil was done scaring us. Then came Mr. X, striding like an unstoppable nightmare through the halls of the RPD. And who could forget Lady Dimitrescu, towering above us, terrifying, and oddly beloved by the internet. Each of these stalkers didn't just test our nerves, they became icons. Resident Evil Requiem looks to continue this terrifying tradition, but with a new pursuer designed to twist our expectations and test how much we can really endure. The demo at Gamescom 2025 gave us a short, sharp taste of this. Just 20 minutes inside the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center, a location as unsettling as its name suggests. Our new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, doesn't come armed to the teeth. No shotgun, no trusty pistol, not even a rusty knife. Just a lighter to push back the dark and glass bottles to distract what lurks inside. This already tells you the tone Capcom is chasing: fragile, powerless, desperate. The kind of horror where every footstep feels like betrayal, every flicker of flame feels like a mistake. The space you explore is small, just a few rooms and a hallway, but in that small space, Capcom packs in enough dread to make you feel trapped, hunted, and watched. And then the stalker arrives. Imagine this. You're creeping past what looks like a lifeless infected, and suddenly a claw bigger than your arm smashes into frame, pulling the corpse like a rag doll. Then, with a jaw that could crush bone in a heartbeat, the creature chomps into the zombie skull. The message is clear. This monster doesn't care about the fodder you used to fear. She's above them, and she's above you. Standing Lady Dimitrescu tall, with the disjointed body of Lisa Trevor and the monstrous jawline of a Wendigo, she is grotesque, terrifying, and yet somehow mesmerizing. Bulbous eyes that seem to track you even in the dark, claws sharp enough to tear steel, and a posture that screams predator. Like the alien from Alien Isolation, she doesn't just walk the halls, she stalks the ceiling, dropping down without warning. In other words, she doesn't just chase you, she owns the space. And so you hide, you crawl, you sneak. Grace can slip under tables, duck into shadows, hug corners like her life depends on it, because it does. Tossing bottles might give you a second's distraction, but you can't kill her, you can't stop her. All you can do is buy yourself another heartbeat. It's the classic Resident Evil power fantasy turned inside out. You're not the hunter, you're the hunted. And yet, in true Capcom fashion, there's a twist. Light hurts her. Not your lighter, which is laughably weak, but real, bright ceiling lights. Run into a lit room, and the monster's skin sears, forcing her to scream and retreat. It's not just a clever mechanic, it's Capcom's most logical explanation yet for why safe rooms work in Resident Evil. Remember how weird it felt when Mr. X would just stop at a doorway? Now it makes sense. In Requiem, light is safety, light is power, and light is your one fragile advantage. Of course, this isn't just about mechanics, it's about legacy. Inventory management is here, strange keys unlocking stranger doors, fuses waiting to be found. That feeling of relief when you hear the satisfying click of progress in a world that wants you dead. Fans will recognize all of this, and they'll feel at home. But they'll also feel that tension of perspective, because like Village, Requiem lets you swap between first-person and third-person freely. And here's where Capcom shows their genius. In first person, the monster is suffocating, filling your screen, reducing your vision, making every scare feel intimate and inescapable. In third person, you can see more, breathe more, but Capcom compensates. Grace stumbles, falls, panics, and loses control in ways that the wider view is no less terrifying. It's not just two camera options, it's two different flavors of fear. But here's where the debate begins. Fans are already split. Some love the helplessness, the realism of hiding and running. Others are tired of it, calling it tedious, unfair, or repetitive. Some want action back, guns blazing, zombies falling. Others argue that true horror is powerlessness, that to be afraid, you must feel weak. And then there's nostalgia. Players remembering Nemesis in 1999, Mr. X in 1998, pointing out that stalker enemies are nothing new. Was 2017 really the rebirth of this idea, or just Capcom perfecting what was always there? Even now, the forums and comment sections are alive with arguments, complaints, praise, and memes. Some fear Requiem will lean too hard into hide-and-seek stealth. Others hope it's just one early segment before the arsenal returns. Everyone is divided, but everyone is talking. And that, more than anything, is the proof that Capcom has tapped into something potent. For me, what excites me isn't just the gameplay, it's the conversation. Resident Evil has always thrived on controversy. When 4 changed everything with its over-the-shoulder camera, fans fought over whether it was still horror. When 5 went action-heavy, the debate raged to hotter. When 7 returned to claustrophobic terror, it split the fanbase all over again. Requiem is walking into that same battlefield, and it's glorious. Because at its core, Resident Evil isn't just about zombies or viruses or Umbrella. It's about fear, and fear is personal. What terrifies one player bores another. What excites one fan frustrates another. And Capcom knows this. That's why they give us choices: first person or third person, fight or flight, light or dark. And that's why, even from just 20 minutes of gameplay, the hype, the nostalgia, the arguments, and the curiosity are all burning as hot as ever. Resident Evil Requiem is more than just the 9th entry. It's a reminder that survival horror is never settled. It shifts, it mutates, just like the monsters within it. Sometimes it's action, sometimes it's stealth, sometimes it's helplessness. But always, always, it's about fear. And if this demo is any clue, Capcom is once again holding that fear in their hands, ready to twist it, reshape it, and unleash it on us early next year. Whether you love stalkers or hate them, whether you crave the gunplay of Resident Evil 4 or the suffocating terror of Resident Evil 7, one thing is certain: Requiem is going to make you feel something. And in the end, isn't that what survival horror is all about?